Why do I do this to myself? Yeah, that still hurts. Stop it. It doesn't get better, man. It just doesn't get better. I thought playing through every BioShock game would be fun, until I put this shock collar on me. Now every death sends 600 volts through me. And if you played BioShock, you already know. I made a terrible mistake.
Would you kindly suffer?
In the 1960s, I survived a plane crash over the Atlantic and washed up at a mysterious lighthouse. Inside is an elevator that takes me to Rapture, a city built underwater by Andrew Ryan, a man who hated government so much he made his own wet dystopia. But Rapture's not a utopia anymore, ever since a war broke out. It's basically Philadelphia underwater now, full of splicers, these drug addicts with knives and zero brotherly love. Speaking of drugs, this is Adam, a drug that rewrites your DNA to give you superpowers. I can see why everyone got addicted, and why a war was started over it, but hey, when in Rapture. Luckily, I met Atlas, a friendly voice on the radio who wants to help me escape. He also wants to save his family, so I figure I'll help him too. But first, I meet the Little Sisters, who collect Adam by drinking blood thanks to a sea slug shoved in their stomachs.
And that's the actual lore. So the sea slugs in the Little Sister's stomach convert the blood into Adam. I mean, it's basic biology. We all learned this in chemistry class.
To protect them, Rapture made the Big Daddies, genetically modified tank freaks whose entire job is to crush anyone who messes with the girls. And if you want Adam to survive, you have to mess with them. They're tough, but not invincible.
Okay, maybe they are invincible. Okay. I didn't like that. I didn't like that.
Dr. Tenenbaum eventually gives me a way to save the Little Sisters instead of harvesting them. This saves the girls' lives, but you get less Adam that way. The game basically warns me if I want to survive, I need upgrades. And that means I need to start winning these Big Daddy fights. I just need a better strategy. So I just shoot, run, shoot again, and panic.
Who knew guerrilla tactics work so well?
I finally reach a bathysphere to help Atlas rescue his family, but Andrew Ryan's already ahead of me. He blows them up, and now we're out for revenge. To reach him, I have to survive Rapture's worst, including Sender Cohen, a theater nerd turned serial killer, and Jeff Cayley? Yeah, the game has hidden dev interviews, so the man behind the Game Awards is apparently just hanging out in Rapture doing developer interviews. It's canon now. I finally get to Ryan's office and he tells me the truth. I never had a family. I was never in a plane crash. I am a genetically engineered assassin built to obey any command after hearing the trigger phrase, "Would you kindly?"
Would you kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find it? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
I just thought he was being kind to me. Are you telling me I've been a sleeper agent this whole time?
Ryan chooses to be killed by me. Atlas then drops the facade and reveals his true identity as Frank Fontaine, the guy who started the whole Rapture Civil War. He leaves me for dead, but Dr. Tenenbaum swoops in to save me and starts fixing my brainwashing.
Does that count as a death?
Oh, absolutely.
Stop it. Do you ever have a good idea for a video, but then you regret recording it? It hurts. Lo and behold, it hurts.
I finally tracked down Fontaine, who injected so much Adam, he's basically a glowing action figure. And he's weirdly easy. He's basically a very angry light bulb with a health bar. With help from the Little Sisters, I drain his Adam, kill him, and finally escape Rapture to live a peaceful life on the surface.
I was shocked as to how good this game is. Tight story, great gameplay, and powers that make you feel unstoppable. Until you fight a Big Daddy. But now it's time to swap plasmids for power drills in BioShock 2.
This time, instead of being a brainwashed assassin, I'm a Big Daddy, which is actually pretty cool. I'm doing normal Big Daddy stuff, protecting a little girl named Eleanor, until her mom, Sophia Lamb, makes me shoot myself.
That was scripted, it doesn't count.
10 years later, I wake up still alive and still bounded to Eleanor. Literally, if I don't find her, I die. So here's the game plan. Step 1, do drugs and get my powers back. Step 2 is to find Eleanor. Simple enough.
Okay, that one counts. It feels like it feels like I am taking a hot iron, like 2 hot iron prongs, and just pressing it against my neck. That's what it feels like. It doesn't get better, man. It just doesn't get better.
Gathering Adam works just like the first game. You fight a big daddy, grant a little sister, but now since I'm a big daddy, I can guide her to bodies and farm even more Adam. But there's a catch. Do it too much and you summon a big sister. And I hate these things. They tank everything I throw at them and still won't die.
If I die in this game, it is going to be by their hand.
I also met Sinclair, my new ally. And trust me, I'm very cautious. I will not be tricked a second time. He helps me through Rapture, grabbing a key from Grace, dealing with Stanley and his little sisters, and ripping a genetic key from Gilbert, a human deep-sea nightmare. But Lamb stays one step ahead. She suffocates Eleanor, sending me into a coma.
A coma, not a death.
For now.
Separated from Eleanor, I'm weakening fast. But Eleanor hatches a plan. She becomes a big sister to save me. I even get to play as a little sister to help her gather what she needs. Together we escaped, and because I chose to spare people instead of killing them, Eleanor learned mercy too. She lets her mother live, takes me to the surface, and peacefully puts me down.
BioShock 2 had harder resource management, maps that were way too big, and big sisters who just wouldn't die no matter what I threw at them. But hacking was more fun, and being able to dual wield made sense. But the next game's gonna have to do an infinite times better. Some would say a BioShock Infinite. A BioShock, yeah, I really had to stretch for that pun. I'm sorry about that.
Taking place way before the first two games in the 1910s, Infinite is drastically different. We finally have a normal control scheme, the main character actually talks, and instead of a city underwater, it is a city in the sky. Welcome to Columbia, a floating hyper-religious Disneyland run by Comstock, a self-proclaimed prophet who warns of a false shepherd. That's me. Booker Do It. A PI drowning in gambling debt, so I get one last job. Bring us the girl and wipe away the debt. The girl is Elizabeth, Comstock's daughter who's missing a pinky, which will be very important later. She has this special power where she can open tears into other realities.
Why can't I get powers like that? All I could do is just shoot crows out of my hand.
Problem is, she's guarded by Songbird, a giant mechanical nightmare. I dodged him twice and get her to an airship, until she realizes we're heading to New York to pay off my debt. She knocks me out and my airship gets hijacked by Daisy Fitzroy in the Fox Populi. To get it back, I need a gunsmith. So my game plan is find Elizabeth.
That's not Elizabeth. Yeah, that still hurts. That still hurts. That still hurts.
I convince her to trust me again, but the gunsmith is dead. In this reality, Elizabeth opens a tear to another one where he's alive. But I'm not.
Back to back, God, back to back. Why do I do this to myself? I do this because I'm a masochist, not because I receive pleasure in pain.
In this new reality, the Vox Revolution is in full swing, and I'm apparently their martyr. Daisy's gone full psycho and threatens to kill a kid, so Elizabeth kills her. She's shaken up, but we keep moving until Songbird snatches her again. To reach Comstock, we need her mother's fingerprints, which could only mean one thing. We're going grave robbing! Naturally, her ghost starts haunting us.
And here's where things get complicated.
Elizabeth is Comstock's adopted daughter. I travel to the future where an older Elizabeth tells me how to stop the war. Back in the past, we confronted Comstock. He demands I tell Elizabeth the truth, which I don't know, so I just kill him. We use Songbird to destroy the siphon, limiting her powers, and she immediately teleports us to Rapture.
Ah, see, now it's a BioShock game.
Elizabeth opens door after door to different worlds until we hit my baptism. Turns out if Booker goes through with it, he becomes Comstock. And the girl I was supposed to bring wasn't Elizabeth, it was my own daughter, Anna. I sold her to Comstock, tried to get her back, and her pinky got cut off. See, I told you this would be very important later. To break this endless cycle, I let multiple Elizabeths drown me before the baptism.
And let me tell you guys the truth. None of that was clear when I first beat the game. I had to watch a YouTube video explaining the ending to me.
So how was the BioShock trilogy actually? For BioShock 1, the gameplay still holds up. Looting and shooting is satisfying, and Big Daddies roaming the levels make every upgrade feel earned. The RPG elements work perfectly, and every plasmid is fun to use. But the real star is the story. Bonding with Atlas, seeking revenge, then getting blindsided by Andrew Ryan's twist is unforgettable. Not everything's perfect. The fish quest sucked, and the final escort mission is painfully slow, and the little sisters keep telling me to keep up. Meanwhile, they're the slow ones. Also, the audio mixing made it nearly impossible to hear the dialogue over the splicers screaming in my face. BioShock 2 isn't bad, but it doesn't hit the same highs as the first. It's harder, but in a frustrating way. Resources are scarce, enemies are bullet sponges, and big sisters make farming extra atom more trouble than it's worth. The bigger maps are great for exploration, but awful for backtracking, and the story is fine at best. That said, there are real improvements. Hacking is way better, and dual-wielding plasmids and guns just makes sense. It's a solid sequel, but it feels more like more BioShock than a major step forward. Confusing ending aside, BioShock Infinite is the best of the trilogy. The gameplay is smoother, the pacing is tighter, and Columbia is absolutely gorgeous, with environments that change dramatically as the story progresses. Limiting you to 2 weapons is odd, but the shield makes the game the easiest in the series, and I love the lack of a little sister mechanic. It gave me more space to explore and upgrade without pressure. The story is the strongest in the series. Every character is fantastic and no level overstays its welcome. My only real complaint is that Songbird wasn't used enough. He could have been this game's Big Daddy, but instead he's mostly a cutscene cameo. I still love the guy though.
Gameplay wise, each game does something better than the last. Story wise, the first one and Infinite are actually neck and neck, and BioShock 2 just exists. But if you're going to play them for yourselves, don't wear a shock collar, and make sure you play the first one and Infinite.
That one was just for you guys.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, you should hit that subscribe button. I would like to thank all of my Patreons, and you should check out another one of my videos. They're pretty good.